I couldn't think anymore, hands everywhere, exploring, gripping, guiding me exactly where they wanted. I was surrounded, my body caught between them, my senses overloaded, taken apart, piece by piece. There was no pause, no escape from the intensity. They moved in perfect rhythm, leaving me with nothing but heat, pleasure, and the sound of deep voices murmuring their approval. "Look at her," one of them said, voice thick with satisfaction, completely lost in it, and so was I. I had never felt anything like this, and I didn't want it to stop. "Before we begin, let me ask you, how far do you think this will go? Stay until the end, it's worth it. And if you like stories like this, hit like and subscribe, you won't want to miss what's next. Let's dive in." Music cue. Drinking alone tonight. The voice was smooth, deep, confident, a man who didn't second-guess himself. I turned slightly, finding him already beside me, close enough to catch the faint scent of whiskey and expensive cologne. Older, confident, sharply dressed, a hint of gray at the temples, a jawline that spoke of authority, a presence that demanded what it wanted. I'd noticed him the moment I walked in, and had been waiting for him to do exactly this. I glanced at him over my glass. "Not anymore, I guess." He smirked, clearly enjoying the game. "That's a shame," he said, nodding toward my empty glass, "because I was about to buy you another." I shrugged, tilting my head. "You still can. But I should warn you, I don't usually stick around long." His eyes darkened, amused. "Neither do I." We both knew where this was headed. No games, no small talk, just two people after the same thing. I leaned in slightly, letting my dress shift, just enough for him to notice. "Your place." He finished his drink in one smooth motion, set the glass down with a quiet clink. "Let's go." I grabbed my purse, feeling his hand press firmly against the small of my back, guiding me toward the door. The night was still young, and I knew it was about to get a whole lot more interesting. We arrived at his place quickly. The door had barely clicked shut before his hands found me strong, certain, no hesitation, claiming me exactly how I needed it. His mouth crashed into mine, backing me toward the bedroom, fingers working my dress off my shoulders until it pooled on the floor. His jacket went next, then his belt, then his shirt, clothes vanishing between frantic kisses until there was nothing left between us. By the time we reached the bed, I was breathless, skin flushed, my body aching for him, but before I could even think, he was on his knees, a deep hum rumbling from his throat as his hands gripped my thighs, spreading them apart icily. "I've been wanting to taste you since the second you walked over," he growled, and then, "He did," I gasped, fingers clutching the sheets as a wave of heat surged through me, slow at first, teasing, making me feel every flick of his tongue, every soft scrape of stubble. I'd expected him to be good, but not this good. His grip tightened, drawing me closer, holding me steady, making me lose myself completely as I trembled. Just when I thought I couldn't handle any more, he pulled back, lips wet, eyes dark and hungry. "Turn around," he ordered, quiet, firm, the voice of a man who was used to being obeyed. I did as he said, barely catching my breath before his hands found my hips, pulling me back to him. No waiting, no hesitation, just a deep, steady push, filling me completely. "Ask ChatGPT." I gasped, my hands gripping the sheets. Ash held me still, letting me feel him. "Oh, just to him, that's it," he murmured, running a hand down my back, possessive, steady like he had all night, and then he moved. The rhythm was deep, steady, consuming, his grip firm, his body pressing into mine with slow, deliberate intensity that sent sharp waves of pleasure through me. My breath hitched my nails, digging into thigh sheets, the heat coiling tight in my stomach, higher, until suddenly, my body shuddered beneath him, heat surging through me, leaving me trembling. His grip tightened, his pace grew deeper, more urgent, and with one last deep push he followed, his body tensing against mine before sinking completely. For a moment, nothing but TV, breaths, damp skin, the link of satisfaction, then a deep exhale, a slow smirk. "Damn," he murmured, his fingers tracing lazily down my spine. I swallowed, still catching my breath, still reeling from what had just happened. I had thought older men were slower, gentler, more restrained. I was very, very wrong, and I had no idea that this night was just the beginning. I stretched my body, still warm and heavy from last night. The morning light crept through the curtains, casting a soft glow across the room. I glanced. Eighth man beside me, still, steady, completely at ease. I hadn't planned on staying the night, but here While slipping out of bed, I grabbed my dress and stepped into it, smoothing out the fabric as I glanced around for my heels. No reason to linger. It had been a good night, a great night actually, but that's all. It was one night. I made my way toward the door, but Rich sent a fresh coffee stop admitting. I found him already in the kitchen, 2 mugs, sitting beside him awake, watching me. You were going to sneak out without saying goodbye. His voice was slow, easy, the same confidence from last night curling around each word. I smirked, shrugging. Figured you'd still be sleeping. Besides, I didn't think you were the type to do morning after coffee. I'm full of surprises. He slid one of them eggs toward me. I hesitated, then stepped forward and took it. Why not? For a momento just stood there sipping the silence, but when U.S. thick, not awkward, just charged. Then he leaned casually against the counter. I've got some friends coming over tonight, just a few of my old buddies having a drink, playing some cards. You should stay. I raised a brow, feeling the weight of his gazelle. I set my coffee down, tilting my head slightly. And what kind of night are you expecting this to be? His smirk deepened. A good one. I let out a soft laugh, shaking my head. Are they as good as you? Why don't you stay and find out? I knew what he was really offering. Didn't I already knew my answer last night was better than I expected. What would it be like to experience that times 5? Slowly I picked up my coffee again and took another sip. Guess I'm staying a little longer. His eyes darkened with approval. Good choice. By late afternoon, I was restless. The air in the apartment felt thick, rushed. I stretched on the couch, a glance at the clock, not much longer. Now the anticipation curled deep in my stomach. Slow and steady mind. If I take a shower, I escaped thou. We both knew this wasn't just about hot water. He smirked, swirling the amber liquid in his glass. Be my guest. I slipped into the bathroom, shutting the door behind me. The moment water turned on, steam wrapped around, warm, heavy. I stepped under the spray X, holding slowly. Last night was still on my skin. Heat, the ache, the way he had moved against me, but tonight would be something else. My fingers trailed down me stomach along the curve of mythicize. How would they see me? The thought sent a slow shiver through me. A smirk tugged at my lips as I reached for the soap, gliding it over my skin, letting through a meth settle deep. I should have been a vis. I wasn't. By the time I stepped out, my body was flushed, ready. I grabbed a towel, drying off quickly before slipping into his robe, the fabrics, soft oversized, carrying the faint scent of his cologne. Then I heard it, voices, low, Marathan one. I froze for half a second. They were already here. I exhaled slowly, no turning back now. I smirked, adjusted their loosely around my waist and stepped. The moment I stepped into the living room, the air shifted. The low hum of conversation faded, replaced by something via viactic. I felt it in their gazes, in the way their eyes roamed over me, waiting. I didn't hesitate, didn't need to. I walked straight to them, and from last night, settling beside him in the couch, his hand found my thigh, instantly warm, firm, possessive, beauty-assured. He smirked, fingers grazing the hem of my robe, teasing before he pulled it in, capturing my lips in a slow, deep kiss. There was no rush, no urgency, just confidence. He wanted me to feel it, to feel them watching, waiting. Then they moved, a shift in posture, a rustle of fabric, the quiet click of a belt being unfastened. I pulled back, slightly glancing up. One of them, tall, broad, standing close enough to touch, watched with quiet expectation, his hand resting on himself, fingers moving in slow, lazy strokes. Go on, the man beside me murmured, his fingers still tracing the edge of my robe. Let's get started. A pulse of heat ran through me. I leaned forward, the first brush of my lips sent a shiver through him. I took my time, teasing, exploring, letting him feel the slow, deliberate pace. His breath hitched, a deep, approving sound escaping as his fingers tangled in me, hair guiding, not forcing. Then another hand, a thumb, traced my bottom lip, coaxing it open before something warm and firm pressed against it, waiting to thicken. One by one they joined, a gentle touch on my cheek, a hand cupping the back of my head, guiding me smoothly. From one on to the next I was surrounded, decks, plung hands, roaming touches, the scent of them, the feel of them. I was caught in it, immersed. They were patient, letting me move between them at my own pace, letting me feel the contrast in shape, size. Heat hands smoothed over Miss Holder's, tilting my chin, keeping me exactly where they wanted. I let myself sink into it, their rhythm, the sensation, the sounds of deep murmurs and quiet groans of men fully indulging in the pleasure of being satisfied. Then a shift, someone took my hand, pulling me up, guiding me toward the coach. Come here. One of them had taken Asiat, watching me expectantly, legs spread, waiting. I followed, instinctive, lickling into his lap, straddling him, feeling the solid press of his body beneath me, his Hands found my waist, steady and unyielding as he guided me down slowly, deliberately. My breath caught a small gasp, escaping as I settled fully. Antohim, a deep sound rumbled in his chest, his fingers flexing against my hips. Ash adjusted, urging me to move. That's Ith, murmured voice, rough with approval. I rolled against him, found a rhythm. Let myself sink into the slow, consuming sensation of being taken, but I wasn't, just his exploring hands roaming. Tushy spalming, kneading, tracing the curves of me, body rolling over sensitive skin, teasing, igniting every nerve. A hand on me jaw, tilting my head up, lips crashing into mine, stealing the small moan, slipping past. I was held, Tuchidax blurred, completely giving in to them. Anthen, another shift, a new grip on my waist, a presence behind me. Breathe, a voice murmured against my ear. I barely had a moment to prepare before he settled behind me, positioning himself carefully. A sharp inhale. Overwhelmed, majestic, stretching to take them both completely. Their hands steadied me, one at me hips, the other gripping my waist, moving in tandem perfectly, and drawing me deeper into the sensation. A deep moan escaped me, my fingers digging into the chest beneath me, as pleasure overwhelmed, consumed, wrecked me. Look at her, one of them murmured, voice thick with approval, embracing every moment, and I was time blurred. A haze of movement, of shifting hands, of quiet murmurs, and deep groans. He was guided from one to the next, tucking apart, piece by piece, made to feel every second of it. There was no rush. They took their time, switching places, making sure I felt them fully before moving on. By the time the last hands released me, I was drained, trembling, and completely averted. My body was still humming, my breath uneven. Then soft chuckles, low murmurs of approval. The man from last night crouched beside me, tilting my chin up, brushing a damp strand of hair from my face. Didn't think you'd last, he murmured, smirking. Neither had I, and I had a feeling this wouldn't be the last time. Some men dream of a night like this, but only a few could actually handle it. Be honest. Do you think you could keep up with a woman like her? Let me know in the comments. I always read them. Don't forget to hit like if you enjoyed this story and subscribe.